Jaden Tench from the United.
Good night, and welcome to Let's Connect. Welcome, and I hope that you're happy to be back because I am happy to be back as well. Welcome back to our Let's Connect program here on 88.5 Soufriere FM. Hope that everybody's having a wonderful Tuesday, and I hope that everything is going well with everybody. I'm having a wonderful Tuesday so far. I can say that it's been a good one. Um, All right. We're having a wonderful Tuesday. You see Miss Starline in the back, Miss 88.5 Super FM. Make sure you go out to support the young ladies taking part, the Sensational Six taking part in the Soufriere Carnival pageant on July 4th. Make sure you are there. Tickets on sale right now for only $50. Don't miss out on it. Make sure you take heed of this wonderful opportunity. I want to shout out Neil Octave. Neil has been wanting us to come back on air, and I'm happy to be back here tonight. Neil, shout out to you. I want to shout out those of you in our comment section on our Facebook Live. Welcome back to Let's Connect. I missed you guys. Hope you missed me. Mwen vle di bonsoir pour tout se moun nan ki ka koute a sou radio. So if you're listening to 88.5 Super FM, big up you tonight. Make sure that you tune in every Tuesday at 8 p.m. We're gonna keep trying to be as consistent as possible in our programming for you because we do miss you. I miss you. I hope you missed me. So shout outs tonight. We want to shout out all the various communities in and around Soufriere. I want to say good night to everybody in Bouton. Good night to Bouton. Good night to Fort Saint-Jacques, everybody in Fort Saint-Jacques and the various communities of Fort Saint-Jacques. Shout out to Mini, Esperance, Mocha, Belvedere, St. Philip. Good night to all of you guys in Wavin, Claire. Shout out to Towai. Shout out to Zeno. If you are in Crestland, good night to you. And I want to say good night to New Development. Good night to you guys in Palmis. I want to shout out everybody in Lenny's Hill, in Market Road, in Barons Drive. If you're in the entirety of Soufriere Town, Boulevard Street, Church Street, High Street, good night to you. Forbenier, good night. Hope that you're having a wonderful night so far. If you're down at the Soufriere Beach Park, good night to you. If you are at Genesis Bar, good night to you as well. I want to shout out our friend Miss Fancy Bowen in St. Vincent. She's always locked on, so I know she's listening. And I want to say good night to everybody joining us on our Facebook Live. Welcome back to Let's Connect. Tonight we're going to have a wonderful show. We have our guest already waiting in the background. He's there already, but we want to just give you just a few announcements quickly while we have your attention. You know, I like to keep you updated in what's happening in and around Soufriere during the week, in the upcoming weeks. So I want you to take note that there is a meeting happening tomorrow. We're inviting all farmers to come and learn about cooperatives from persons representing the Ministry of Commerce Cooperatives Department, persons from Ministry of
farmers to come and learn about cooperatives from
be at the Fort Saint-Jacques Parish Center at 4 p.m. tomorrow, Wednesday. So if you're a farmer and you want to learn some more information about what's important about cooperatives and why you should consider cooperatives, or if you are in a cooperative already, what it means to you and what can be available to you as a member. So please avail yourself of that situation tomorrow, Wednesday. That is Wednesday, tomorrow, 4 p.m. Fort Saint-Jacques Parish Center. Tell a friend to tell a friend, spread the word, make sure everybody is aware. All right, we want to give a shout out to all fishermen. They will be celebrating Fishermen's Feast this coming Sunday, June the 29th. There is a blessing of boats taking place at 7 a.m., followed by church service at the Soufriere Catholic Church at 8 a.m. Then the fishermen will have their fishermen's lunch. And then there is a family fun day from 1 p.m. at the Fishermen's Cooperative. So Sunday we celebrate, come out and celebrate with the fishermen. If your father, your brother, your uncle, your auntie, if somebody in your family is a fisherman, come out and celebrate them and the wonderful work that they do to help provide food for our community. We want to show them that support. So join us on Sunday, June 29th. For the various activities. You can come for the blessing of the boats at 7 a.m. or you can come to church at 8 a.m. to celebrate with the fishermen, or you can go out at the Fisherman Family Fun Day 1 p.m. at the cooperative. So we hope to see you there. All right, so we want to welcome our guest who has been patiently waiting for us to begin. We have with us on board Major Cyril Saltibus. He is a wonderful addition to Soufriere at the Soufriere Regional Development Foundation. And today he wants to speak to us about cooperatives. Welcome, welcome, and good night. Sorry, I said cooperatives.
You said cooperatives.
I meant volunteerism. We're here to speak about volunteerism. I welcome once again Mr. or as we lovingly call him, Major Cyril Saltibus. Thank you so very much for joining us tonight.
Good evening, and welcome back yourself. I normally take time to listen to you all the time, so it's nice to have you back. And it's nice to just share the love and share the information with the entire community of Soufriere, as to what we're doing at SRDF. We can't even keep up with the amount of work we're doing at the moment. And just before I jump into volunteerism, I need to big up the staff of the liaison department that is launching the La Rose and Margaret Festival on the 3rd of next month. That's a big thing. We are reviving the whole idea of our festival of flowers, which is unique to only St. Lucia. This is only happening in St. Lucia in the entire world, and we're proud to have it in St. Lucia, and we're proud to give to revive it in the community of Soufriere. So I want to invite everybody down on the 3rd at Old Trafford and have a blast while we launch our flower festival. But in saying that, when we do things like the Flower Festival, and we do things like Carnival, and we do things like jazz, and we do independence celebrations, everything that the SRDF, the government, our parliamentary representative, Honorable Emma Hippolyte, does, everything that we do in this country, there is a part of volunteerism that needs to take place. And I think we can go way back into how our communities were actually formed. A lot of people believe these days we have contractors being paid a lot of money just to do things. But in the past, when you want to build a bridge, the community people came together and build a bridge. You had to build a church. The community people came and you had a coudme. Every home or little outside kitchen that was built, it was family members coming together with friends and neighbors, to saw wood from side to side, and nail it together and put it together until one family have a building, then another family, and then the community is built. That today is a little, I don't want to say it is lost, but it's disappearing, with our young people, and we need to bring it back. Firstly, I want to send a strong message to the students. Students at secondary school who have the intention of going to college and universities, you really cannot complete your university degree if you do not have volunteer hours. The sad thing is, when you get to another country or you get to university, they want you to do it there, and that disturbs you. So now that you are in a secondary school, now that you're just a member of our community just growing up, be attached to a volunteer organization. One that is springing up pretty soon is the SRDF Soufriere Volunteers, right? And we keep the record of every hour that you spend doing work in your community. And that is sent to your school, to your university, and actually you get credited on that. And we must take that very seriously. Because I know some students, a lot of friends of mine who go to university, when I served as National Volunteer Coordinator, never volunteered. Okay? But when they were in their first year and they asked for volunteer hours, they would write me a letter and say, hey, can I get a letter from you just saying that I've done my 300 hours? And I have to say no, because you can't cheat the system, right? Yeah, it's about that. I think the minimum is 300 volunteer hours, and some of them want more, but you must do that, and it's very important. Now, let me just share a story. My curriculum vitae is a beautiful one. But when I look at it every time, the most impressive part of my curriculum vitae is filled with volunteerism work, right? Because when I look at my paramilitary career, that's all volunteer. So we volunteer as cadets with NEMO. During a disaster, you'd see people delivering food to your home and fixing a bridge or helping people across a stream or going to rescue somebody. We do that as cadet officers, and that's all volunteer. We don't get paid. But you see on your CV, when you see that you're a member of NEMO and you have done A, B, and C. You've traveled to Barbados, Trinidad, and you've done volunteer work in the Caribbean. That says a lot about you as a person. Now, I don't want to blow my horn too much, but sometimes you have to. When I look down at, let's say, traveling to Trinidad and planting 5,000 breadfruit trees in a place in the deep forest of Trinidad because they found they needed to do that. A few of us from St. Lucia just went down there and volunteer our hours to do that. Now we have our friends calling us and telling us how it's going and how those trees are blooming. It says something about you. It says something about your work. It says something about your reputation, and that is just brilliant. I mean, I served as a curator of a museum at Government House, Le Pavillon Royal Museum, for what? For I think 7 to 8 years. Pure volunteerism. I became the curator, an untrained person. I was not trained. I didn't do museology at no university or no school, but I became the curator. And I happened to be I jumped from that into being the president of the Museum Association of the whole Caribbean for two consecutive times. All that through volunteerism. And when you look at my CV, you say, wow, when did that guy do museology or something like that? But no, it was just volunteerism. So I just want to share that with people that when you give of your time, you get the rewards. When you join the Soufriere Volunteers, which will be launching pretty soon, and I must say hats off to Glendia Charles for spearheading this project, you will be trained. You'll be trained in areas of protocol, in the areas of customer service. You'll be trained in in health and safety, and those things go a long way because you get certified as a protocol officer. You get certified as a customer service rep, and that is all free when you join the volunteer program. The training is free, and you give of your time free. So what we want is we want every young boy, every young girl in Soufriere, and the elderlies to, if you're retired, you come to our office, you ask for a volunteer form, fill it up. Our meetings are starting pretty soon. We have the numbers you can call. I can call it out later for you. But it's very important to give back to your community. I sometimes pass and, you know, you say good morning and somebody don't answer. And I sometimes stop them and tell them, if you fall, I really have to pick you up. I have to do it because it's in me. So try and give back. And the giving back there is as simple as a greeting, as opposed to passing somebody straight. All that, you know, have something to do with volunteerism. You walk the streets of Soufriere and you see a bottle in the gutter. If you have a nylon bag in your hand, try and pick it up and put it in the dustbin. It says a lot about our community if we have a dirty community. Yes, people will be litter, but through volunteerism, we can keep it clean. So all those things is, we have to bring back the spirit of volunteerism. But when I'm saying volunteerism, mais ba la se kou de men kouman. OK? Moun nou komanse ka fe kou de men anko. Ede yon an lot. OK? Le ou an vie moun ou ka chay an chay. Ede yo. An moun ka passe an chime an, ka moun do ka pase. Chebe ou sa doubout moun do ka ba yo. Kite yo pase. Tout ba e kan. Nou ni pou mene ba kou de men devi an komin nou. Parce si nou pa fe sa, nou kay pet chen nou men. Comment? So it is very good for us to instill. And I while I was the national volunteer coordinator for the country, I started doing something with the Ministry of Education, where at secondary school we made it mandatory that students must do volunteerism at school to graduate. That did not take, it did not catch on very well, but I still feel there is an opportunity, not even from secondary school, but from kindergarten, teach those children how to volunteer. Bring the kids out. I know they bring them out, let's say, to the Sulphur Springs Park, the city buildings, but also bring them out to the square and show them how to, let's say, go on a anti-litter drive, or beautification drive. Teach it from that level. So by the time they're teenagers, it's in their blood. So, I just want to encourage everybody from Soufriere, come out there, pick up a registration form. It is hard copy, or if you call us at the office, we can send it to you via soft copy, and you can be enrolled.
Awesome, wonderful. Mr. Saltibus, you've given us such a rich history in your experience with volunteerism, and I do hope that the persons listening, especially our young people who are in Form 4, Form 5, A level, who are about to really see what the working world is about. This is the opportunity for you to get experience, get some of the training that you might need. These things count, because I remember when I first started working, I used to pad my resume with volunteer work. With because during volunteerism we had opportunities to do security at gates, at events, and we
Yeah.
were able to get photographed doing these type of things, and we were able to put these things on our resume. So sometimes before you even had a job, your resume had volunteered with National Trust, volunteered with Red Cross, volunteered with Nemo. You have these things on your resume, and it pads it up, it adds to it, so it puts you a little way above the rest so that you get noticed. And like you said, even with the colleges, these are the type of things they look at, and they do sometimes require you to see how many mandated hours you have, and you have done that type of work. It means you care. And that's the thing we need to really bring back. When you say bring back kudme, c'est ça qui en réalité the community we need to bring it back. People need to care about one another. Like you said, even when you see something happening to somebody, just to help them. You're in church and you see a lady struggling to walk up the aisle, just to go and hold her hand and assist her. You're going in the same direction, both of you are going for communion. That type of thing, just those little things. Like you said, you see a bottle somewhere it's not supposed to be, just to pick it up and put it in the bin. We have bins all over the community, not far from you, just a few feet away from you. You must find a bin. There's nothing wrong with helping the community in those small ways. We just need to bring back caring. I don't know how exactly we're going to do it, but I want to give kudos to the Soufriere Regional Development Foundation for taking up that avenue of bringing a volunteerism group to Soufriere. I encourage our listeners, our young people especially, please consider registering for the volunteer group, and for other groups as well, because there are other groups that will do charity work on their own as a group.
Yeah.
You have all the sports clubs we have in Soufriere. We have Black Panthers, we have Challengers, we have Rising Stars. They take on these community efforts as well. We have the different youth groups. Barons Drive has a brand new youth group that has already had quite a few of these charitable events. They had a health fair not too long ago. So these are the type of things that look good, because it means you have good in you. You are willing to do good for nothing in return. You're not getting paid for that. And that's the thing we've lost. Everybody wants to be paid for everything they do. They shift a table here for there for you, that you have to give them $10. So we need to bring back caring for the community. And Major Saltibus, wonderful of you to come on here on our program tonight and say so. We want to shout out those of you in our chat room tonight. Good evening to you as well, Mr. Gaffer Nicholas. We want to say good night to you, Miss Sabina Alexander. And we have a question, or not a question, a statement. Young people nowadays talk too much about money, so you'll never get them doing volunteer work. Well, we don't want to say never. We want to encourage, we want to support, and it's good for them to see the adults doing it so that they can do it too. When you see somebody doing something often, you do it too. So they follow by example. So even if you think you're not the kind of person we need to come and volunteer, we need you to come and volunteer. Sometimes the person in your community will see you leaving your home to go to do something. They will ask you, where are you going? And you'll tell them, we're going to help to do something, and they'll join you. So sometimes they need to see you do it first. So I want to encourage our persons listening, and please make sure you share the live, share the comments, have that conversation on the bus tomorrow, have that conversation at work tomorrow. Tell people, what groups do you belong to? What activities do you participate on the weekends when you're not at work? What things are you interested in? Find something you can fit yourself into, especially with all the wonderful programs that the Soufriere Regional Development Foundation has. Look, we already have the Flower Festival launching. And let me tell you, La was and La Marguerite, we just as ferocious as the SLP versus UWP conversation. So we want persons to come out and support La was and La Marguerite. Please and thank you. You're laughing,
Yeah,
Mr. Much.
I'll be very upset if I lost my position as king of the rose, because I put my name down first. If they didn't give me that, I go fight to hard with Glendia Charles. So
I know that I've been in some epic battles in the La Marguerite versus La was Rose. So I know we're there for the war.
yeah, but you say that the SRDF is spearheading those projects, but I must just say, every time I meet the Honorable Emma Hippolyte, he keep insisting on that. Cyril, I need our volunteers to be organized. I need us to form this volunteer group. I need to bring back this thing in our community. And this is somebody who cares. She understands. She came from the roots of volunteerism. That is how our community was built. I mean, I have my, and I can say that here. My dad is in at home, and sometimes when I'm at work and he needs to go to the hospital, I simply pick up the phone and call one of the friends I know that volunteer, and they said, "No problem, man, Salty, I'll go and do that for you. Go and pick him up." And that is what it's about, because it will come back to you one day. We will get old one day. We will need the help one day. So we have to give. You must give every day so you can actually get, you know, back sometimes. And that's very, 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 very important. I mean, hats off to Dr. Anthony when he initiated this volunteer program a long, long, long time ago. I mean, it was first instituted as an official organization for World Cup cricket in St. Lucia. Then it branched out into the community chapters, and Soufriere had a brilliant chapter. I don't know what happened to it, but the fact is, we cannot sleep. We need to get it back together. We will get it back together. I think we have about maybe 20 members already registered, and we want to get the group bigger. Just let me let y'all know what you get when you become a volunteer. It's not about giving. It's about giving. It's not about getting, but we do provide a T-shirt because we want people to recognize our volunteers.
Branding is
You will be
important.
given an ID card that when you go to a function, people recognize that you are a volunteer. You know, you will get the training, as I said, and most of those trainings that we provide are certified trainings. And it goes into your curriculum vitae. It goes into that CV of yours. So those are all the good things, and most importantly, you get to meet people. You get to meet people. You meet presidents, you meet prime ministers, you meet ambassadors, you meet you meet superstars, movie
Yeah.
stars, because you get to volunteer at those functions, and you become the face of St. Lucia. For those in Soufriere, you become the face of Soufriere. Everybody that comes, can you imagine when the cruise ships are coming? We have our volunteers on the dock, just saying, "Hey, welcome to Soufriere," and providing a little map of Soufriere. That goes a long way, and our visitors love those things, and they give a lot back. Honestly, they give a lot when you volunteer your services to them. So I just want to encourage everybody, even if it have to be 1 hour a week, you can volunteer, do that. And we will be reaching out to you. So we have a wonderful beautification drive coming along. We did go through our program of Kudme Soufriere recently. I mean, and that was great. It was nice to see my little 8-year-old there painting that little curve by pots, and it was nice to see a bunch of us cleaning another house by Church Street, you know, painting the bridge, the wall, the pipes on the bridge. Those kind of things. It gives you a sense of comfort when you walk into the community. When you drive, every time I drive past Cots right now in Soufriere, I just stare at the wall, the beautiful handprints and splashes on that wall. It says something about us, and there's a lot more to do. We have a drive program where we're going to beautify through our rep, Honorable Emily Pulit, to beautify every entrance to every community. And we need our volunteers in every community to help beautify, plant flowers around the naming system of our community, because we're going to name all of them and put a nice little big logo and a big sign for every community. But we need the members of the community to keep it up.
Come out support, help with the efforts.
Yes.
Yes. We
And
cannot
let me tell you what happens. Let me tell you what happens when you pay. When you pay people to do things like that, they grab the money, they do it for you, but they don't maintain it because it's not in them to maintain it. But if they volunteer to do it, then it goes a long way. And we must bring back. Nusibozeb, Feba, Kudma. Just imagine Mr. Susan on the fee. OK? En temps passé, là, on a dit fait, c'est yon bombe gloire dans le temps pour, vous savez, yon moun, yon, ou kachin ten di fait. OK? That thing can happen again. It can happen again. So we must bring back the sense of volunteerism, especially this time we are in the hurricane season. This is when you really get the true spirit of volunteerism. Most of Nemo's staff in Soufriere, they are volunteers. Actually, all of them. The only paid staff for Nemo, they're based in Castries at the headquarters. But in Vieux-Fort, in Deriso, in Micoud, in Soufriere, everywhere, the people who function as your first responders, they are volunteers. And the rewards are endless at the end. You meet people, you get to interact with the people who bring the supplies on. You get to jump on a boat and sometimes go to Dominica and collect supplies. So there's a lot of benefits in volunteerism, and there's a lot of fun. There's a guy called Victor Price. He's one of our volunteer chapter leaders in Ancillary, and he says it's from the heart. He prides himself on saying, "Do it from your heart." If you do not have, the heart to be a volunteer, don't do it at all. And I he has a little boy, and I mean, he brings that little boy to paint every little bench in his community, to pressure wash something, to plant a tree. When you nurture a child into volunteerism, you nurture a good member of your community. Now, it's not too late, people. Let's get on board. I will be going about with my little pad myself, because I believe if people don't come to me or come to us, we have to go to them and share the good word of volunteerism. And we're going to start doing that. So if you see me walking the streets of Soufriere with a little pad saying, join the volunteer program, just sign up. So we really need to get it done. And I must say thanks also to Mr. Ernest Auger. He's the one spearheading all those projects, all the La Rose and Marguerite and the volunteer program, and this steel pan that will be coming down pretty soon, because we want to revive our steel pan group also.
All limit on the steel pan, because I've been wanting to learn steel pan from an early age. So if you see, I cannot join the steel pan group. Me and you're fighting.
Well, I was so proud to see my daughter playing her first, community vibe in Labrie last week, where they launched their group, and she's 8 and she was there playing pan. I mean, man, that's just nice, So yeah, we're doing that pretty soon in Soufriere.
Last year I was saying we need to bring back pan, because I don't know when last I saw a pageant contestant playing steel pan on the stage. Before that,
let's make it happen.
That you would get a contestant playing something on steel pan. Now I don't know when last I saw that on stage. We need to bring that back. We need that. This year I want a contestant on stage playing steel pan.
Yeah. Mr. Auger has his legacy of getting things done in Soufriere is just wonderful. And I can't reiterate that. It's just, and he comes to us every day, and he sometimes you think he's coming at you with annoyance, but no, he wants to see the La Rose and Margaret done. He wants the volunteer groups organized. He wants us to do. I mean, can you imagine right now, by not next year, by Christmas time, we will see our Soufriere orchestra on stage somewhere, playing the national anthem, playing music, representing Soufriere. That's just great. So and again, it's through volunteerism all that is happening. There's a lot of volunteers in the background making the orchestra system work, making the La Rose and Marguerite work. Everything is through volunteerism. And if you don't do it, trust me, I don't know how people sleep at night if you don't volunteer. But when I sleep with both eyes closed, and I breathe nicely, because I know I helped somebody, I volunteered, I do those things. And there's something I share with people a lot. When I travel, I share it when I give a lecture on volunteerism. Is I was in the bank in Castries, I went in to the bank, and it's natural of me to help people out. And I went through the door, and there was an old lady at the back of me, so I kept the door open. And I was next in line, but after I opened the door, I went on the line and I just stood there waiting, like anybody else. And I felt somebody hug me from the back. Just that's a lady I don't know from. I turned back and to see what was irritating me, kind of. And the lady just said thanks. She said people don't do that anymore. And she said thanks. You don't know what I felt inside. To know that I got a hug from a total stranger because she wanted to say thanks for keeping the door open for her to pass. That simple gesture can go a long, long, long way. And those are the little things. Those are the little volunteerism things that people need to do. And I can talk about the harsh stories of stopping a mother with a child, where the child throws a can on the floor and she doesn't insist that the child picks it up after I indicate, hey, mom, your daughter just dropped something. If I tell you the tongue lashing I get sometimes, I don't want to repeat that. That's not important. But I want us to change our attitude towards that. We must discipline our children. We must show our children the correct way of doing things. A child drops a can, maybe natural because she's not trained yet, but you train the child. You make the child pick it up and teach the child the importance of doing that, and the danger also of letting a can go down the drain, which is going to clog your waterway, and then you know again we have floods. So when you look at the waterways project, the clean of the river project is something that was launched last 2 weeks, and that's going to need a lot of volunteerism. All right, we need to keep our rivers clean, and through I think Miss Casoboy is the one leading that. I think she should be on your show sometime to actually articulate exactly what is going on. So we need the entire Soufriere community to come together to learn, teach people how not to pollute the rivers, how to keep it clean. Because trust me, we need to keep that river of ours clean because it goes right into our moneymaker, which is the sea. You understand? That's all we have for the tourists. It's a wonderful sea, our volcano, our piton. And if we endanger it, then we're in trouble. So, but through volunteerism, all those things can be beautiful.
That's right. That's right. I agree with you 100%. And once again, we're encouraging our listeners. We're encouraging persons who they in their life that they know are interested in this type of events, this type of activities. Reach out. Tell them that the Soufriere Regional Development Foundation is registering persons for the volunteer group that is going to be launched. Please go down and register. Mr. Saltibus will be walking around with his clipboard, signing persons up. If you see him, stop him and tell him you're interested. Make sure you let him know, you let Miss Glindia Charles know, you let any of the staff of the Soufriere Regional Development Foundation know that you are interested in volunteering in the various upcoming programs so that you can see what it's about. Because one thing I don't think you emphasized enough is the amount of fun, because one of the reasons that you look at that mural with the handprints when you pass and you think so fondly about it is because the memory attached to that day is something that will live with you forever. So the memories you make, the fun you have at the time with the people, like-minded people doing a like-minded activity, that is something that is, it's like touching, it's like grounding yourself. It's like when they tell you go touch grass. That's the type of feeling you get. You get grounded. So you live with that memory and it changes you. You might not think it changes you, but it changes you. It definitely has an output into your life, into the way you interact with people, into the way you look at things going down the road. So volunteer for a change in your life. Honestly, that is the what it's going to do for you. So when you volunteer, it changes your life. It changes the life of the people you volunteer for, the people you help, but it also changes your life. So I definitely
Yeah.
want to encourage everybody to join up with the volunteer group. And like you said, I will definitely reach out to Miss Sonia Kazabo to come and speak to us more about waterways. I do have a notice here about waterways. Okay, so Waterways and the Soufriere Regional Development Foundation invites you to a series of community meetings about the new river project. So, based on this timetable, there is one happening tonight actually at Chateau Bel Air at Johnson's Place. All right, and then there's one tomorrow, Wednesday, the 25th, at the Buto Community Center from 4 p.m. On Thursday, the 26th, there is going to be a meeting at the Soufriere Primary School. So we invite persons from Palmis, Forbenier, Wingsville, Riverside, New Development, come down to the Soufriere Primary School 6 p.m. on Thursday night for that meeting. And then on Friday, the 28th, there is going to be one at Biggest Place in Fort Saint-Jacques, also at 6 p.m. Refreshments will be served after the meeting. So this is the Waterways project that Mr. Saltibus just mentioned. They're going to need a lot of volunteers for that project. And we're dealing with river health, water quality, and that affects our health. And the time to act is definitely now. So take note, there's meetings every night this week so that you can attend and hear what it's about.
Yeah, and just adding to the life of volunteerism, mom, is I attended a funeral of our Auntie Vera on Sunday, just past, and the amount of things that people said about her. You understood, and you could paint a picture of volunteerism, with her life history. And people who showed up there, everybody in this community showed up just to give thanks, to say how precious she was and how giving. I mean, you had people coming up and talk about her cookies, that she used to bring to church, and how she helped children before, even. And then there was a particular story that stuck with me where somebody came in to talk about their work, and she started talking about their life instead, telling them that your life is more important than anything else. And that just, I mean, it just said volunteerism all the way. So, when you celebrate, when you can celebrate your life that way, when you've passed over, it's even greater. People show up for you, which is very good. And we really need to do that. And we need to give thanks to the people who actually volunteer every year. And another thing I want to tell the volunteers is, when I say giving thanks, is yearly we have a volunteer awards where we recognize volunteers for their efforts because they give freely. So somehow we once a year we go up to office of the Prime Minister. That's where it's hosted sometimes, and people are awarded for their level of volunteerism. You have the esprit de corps persons, and you have the person with the most volunteer hours. You have the person with the So there are different categories, and us in Soufriere already be special. So we're gonna invent our own little award ceremony type for volunteers to recognize our volunteers. And right now, as we're on the show, I mean, there are a lot of volunteers in Soufriere. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of them. They're just not registered of the group, and we're not recognizing their work. You understand? So, but there's a lot of them, and we need to cherish them. We need to take care of them, and even in their old age, we need to go and see them a little more often, and send a little fruit basket to them, because trust me, without those people, nothing can happen, or nothing happened at all. And so I just want to say big up to those people, and to keep encouraging people. I mean, I know the trend is super happy with my family, but that does not always work. It does not always work. You need to volunteer. Volunteerism is dated back. Let me see if I can get that for you. I was reading it a while ago. It dates back so far. I think in the year 1755, where the official word was actually recognized. And a lot of it started where you had the soldiers going out to war. And when all the men went out to war, the communities in the Europe and stuff like that were just left to themselves. So people had to then start to volunteer. Okay? You have to volunteer police and volunteer soldiers, volunteer. You have to volunteer to keep your community going while people go out to war. Okay, so those kind of things, it started a long time ago, continues today, but we really need to, instill it into the education system. And that's where I'm going with it. You really need to get it into the children from kindergarten. So in Soufriere, I think what we're going to start doing, and I know Glendia, she's always, esprit de corps when it comes to volunteerism. She really gives it her all. And I think we need to go into the schools and start giving little lectures to the kindergarten children, start the primary schools giving lectures on volunteerism, and showing them examples of how volunteerism changes your life. I mean, back to me again, I am who I am today because of volunteerism. I couldn't I couldn't be involved in museums. I couldn't be involved in the paramilitary if I didn't volunteer my time. And that starts from joining things like scouts. And when I say volunteerism, I don't mean that you should just join the super volunteer group. When you join the scouts, the Girl Guides, the Rangers, you join the Cadet Corps, you volunteering. You join National Trust, you volunteering. So try and get a group that you can give your services to, and you will feel the rewards. It's a very nice feeling. Okay, so it's not just through our group, but somehow it is nice if we have an organized group. So we would like the Soufriere volunteer chapter to be the umbrella volunteer group for all those other volunteer groups. So when we have major activities like Kudme Soufriere, we don't really have to go searching for people. All we have to do is send an email or send a WhatsApp, and everybody's on board. We have an oil spill somewhere. We know the volunteers would know what to do to assist the fire service. Those are the kind of things we need to do. You have an accident while the police is attending, and maybe the fire service is there. The volunteers are on the outskirts, keeping the crowd back and telling people, "Don't worry, it's going to be all right." If people are traumatized, we train people through volunteerism to debrief, those victims. So all those trainings you can get. There's just a wide scope of training for volunteers that will benefit our community, benefit Soufriere, and most importantly, benefit you as a person.
We're definitely all about self-development here in Soufriere, especially with our district rep, Honorable Emma Hippolyte. That is definitely one of the areas she focuses on:
Yeah.
self-development, development, especially for our entrepreneurs, our young people, our young school leavers. That is one of our biggest concerns in Soufriere. So we want to, once again, I encourage everybody, and I just want to also remind persons that if you want to keep abreast of information of everything that's happening in and around Soufriere, there are multiple social media pages you can follow, including Soufriere Regional Development's page, Soufriere Foundation. They're both on Instagram and on Facebook. They're also on YouTube. We have the 88.5 Soufriere FM pages as well. We also have the Soufriere Constituency Council, that is the office of the mayor, the Soufriere Constituency Council, and our town councillors, our town clerk, our these persons have their own pages as well, and they post a lot of what is happening within Soufriere. And also we have our pages, the Soufriere Constituency group page, that is Honorable Emma Hippolyte's office page, and we also have the Emma Hippolyte page as well. So we tend to focus on things that are happening in and around Soufriere, things that can benefit you. So when you want to know what is happening, what is coming, what is updated, you need to check out all these pages: the Soufriere Foundation, 88.5 Soufriere FM, Soufriere Constituency Council, and they're on multiple platforms. So you can get them on Facebook. They have WhatsApp as well. Most of us have our WhatsApp pages as well, WhatsApp groups that we can report to as well. So for Soufriere Constituency Group, Soufriere Constituency Office, you can get us at 731-3234 for any information of what is happening in and around the constituency. We can provide you with updates. And once again, Facebook pages, YouTube, we have some pages available via TikTok as well. We have persons on YouTube, Instagram, everywhere. So we have somewhere to reach out to you to get you that information, to make it easier for you to access information. So don't stay out of the know.
Do you
Okay.
have the ability to put a number on the screen, or I
There
don't
are
know?
numbers currently on the screen.
No, no, no. I'm talking about our, because our number, people can call 733-9704 to be, to register as a volunteer, or 724-4589 to register as a volunteer. So I just want to let them know that.
If he's able to put it on for us at the moment. But we will put that information. WhatsApp me that number, and I will circulate it as well, and that
No
I will
problem, no problem.
various pages as well. All right. I'm seeing a note there about MSME Day is on Friday, and I'm not sure who is the I. Is that Miss Melanie Hippolyte or Miss Emma Hippolyte? That is the I. Okay, so somebody will be visiting some of our MSME beneficiaries on Thursday, God willing. So I'm not sure which one of the Hippolytes that is using the Bon Nouvelle. That's not, no, that, I think that's
I think that's our rep. I think that's our rep. I
the rep.
suspect.
I'm not 100% sure. So I don't want to say it's her and it's not her. But most likely it is her. It would make more sense for it to be her. So I don't want to jump the gun and say Honorable Emma Hippolyte will be visiting some of the MSME beneficiaries on Thursday, God willing, but that might be what I am receiving there on the screen. Okay,
Yeah.
so Friday is MSME Day. So congratulations. I think there's about 68 MSMEs in Soufriere who have become beneficiaries of the Ministry of Commerce's MSME Grant Loan Initiative. So you will be getting a visit on Thursday, God willing, some of the beneficiaries. Okay. So be prepared for that. But congratulations once again to those persons who benefited from the MSME program. And we also want to congratulate persons who have received from the youth economy. I do believe the number for youth economy is roughly around 50 for Soufriere, or it could have gone up by now. But at the last time that I heard, it was roughly about 50. So we want to congratulate the young and older persons through MSME, the young and older persons through MSME who have received assistance for their budding businesses in Soufriere. So we have a wonderful community of persons who are working for themselves, who are self-employed, and we want to encourage you to keep working hard. The times are getting more difficult out there, but if you keep the perseverance, if you keep at it, you will get to where you are trying to get. Trust me, it is all about consistency. So I want to encourage all of the young persons who are doing their wonderful little businesses. We want to encourage you to keep it up, keep it up, keep it up. And I also want to remind you, Fisherman's Feast, June 29th. Okay,
Let me
any
just let
major
me
thoughts?
just volunteer some information, if you don't mind. There's a message to the unemployed young boys and girls. We have our Hope program that is running, and we encourage people to come into the SRDF office. We give you a registration form, you fill in your details, and we find you training, we find you a job. We find you the finances. If you want to start your own business, we assist you in writing your curriculum vitae. We assist you in contacting, different agencies to get you employed. And again, it is through volunteerism. So SRDF is volunteering to do that for you. And I must admit, we're not getting enough young boys and girls walking into our office, sign up and say, hey, I'm here to sign up for the Hope program because I rented a job. I want to be trained. And the idea is we want to meet every Thursday or Friday in our boardroom. You come in, we teach you how to do things. We teach you how to write a letter to get a job. We write it for you. We contact the different people for you. And there's so many jobs. Reneata, let me tell you something. For the last 2 weeks, there's
Yeah.
so many jobs that are just available for people. I've never seen that. And people just, staying away from it. And I must encourage them, just come and grab those opportunities. There's a lot of opportunities in many departments. Reno wants people. Kentucky's asking for people. There are a lot of jobs out there. So, come into our office, sign up, and be gainfully employed. And we want you to come back and volunteer for SRDF and so forth.
That's right. And we want to keep encouraging that volunteerism. And once again, I know we used to have, I think maybe we need to get the chairman of the Hope program back on, because he used to come on to tell people about Hope. I think we need to remind persons about Hope, because Hope is there for that. That's the purpose of it. And we want you to get that assistance. We want you to be gainfully employed. We want you to be able to provide for your families. We want you to be able to get the training you need so that you can get either back into school or back into entrepreneurship or into another job. We have that assistance there waiting for you. Please take advantage of it.
Well, the chairman is back on board. Trust me, he's on our case. We having a nice, it's kind of a youth mixer initiative where we encourage people to come and talk about what's going on in their lives, and how we can assist them. And it's a Hope Project event that's coming on, and the chairman is the one who actually initiated that. So he's out of country at the moment, but he's way on board, and he's really pushing at us to get it done. I must admit, the speed at which the Hope program is moving right now have a little to do with the organizers. Has more to do with the willingness of people to come forward. And we really want to encourage people to take advantage of help. When people are helping you, take advantage of it. When people are volunteering their time to help you, take advantage of it. It's very, very, very important. So if you're listening right now or you listen tomorrow, you know, try and come to our office and register with the Hope program and make good on this wonderful life that God has given us.
That's right. Wonderful final words from Major Cyril Saltibus. I want to thank you once again, Major Saltibus, for coming onto our program. You're one of our favorite guests. You're welcome anytime. Whenever you have something you want to get off your chest, you can use us as your sounding board. So you're welcome anytime. Thank you so very much. And once again, I want to encourage all our listeners, please sign up for the volunteer program. Don't forget the Lawas and La Marguerite Flower Festival groups. They're about to launch. Make sure you're on board. And I cannot wait for the Steel Pan Orchestra to come on board as well. And we're looking forward to hearing from our youth orchestra for the first time at the Christmas Village in December. I want to once again encourage everybody to come out to support the sensational 6 pageant contestants at the Soufriere Carnival Queen pageant on July 4th at 7 p.m. 7 p.m. I think it's 7 p.m. And tickets are $50. So make sure you're going to be there, because I am going to be there, and I want you to be there so that you can see everything the same way I see it too. All right, I have 4 eyes, but you have only you know we want to make sure everybody's seeing the same thing. So make sure all of us there. All right, so see you all on
I'll be
July.
there.
I'm gonna be there for sure. I want to encourage persons to come out and support the fishermen on June 29th. That's this Sunday. Come out and support our fishermen at the Family Fun Day at 1 p.m. Somebody's asking what is the Hope program about. We still have a few minutes. We can give them a little bit of information about Hope. So Hope stands for Harnessing Opportunities and Potential for Employment. So it is, like we said, a program that is designed to assist young people to either, if you're trying to open a business, they're going to help you to write up a business plan, try to secure funding for your business, try to sit and develop and speak about where it's going. It's not just an idea anymore in your head. So we have that avenue for you. Also, if you're trying to get access to employment, they can sit with you, try and help you put together your resume or your CV or job letter, find places that have current vacancies and see if you're interested in any of those. We also let you know when there's trainings coming up, like they were recently. I'm not sure if it has started, but we had the plumbing course that was coming on board. That's the type of thing you would have gotten information about underneath Hope. So, any further words on Hope, Major Saltibus?
Well, you just said it. Things like the plumbing course that's coming along. We would like
Hope
people
has
that are registered Hope to be part of it.
things.
It's starting pretty soon though. But if something was unemployment, it's what Hope is. And that's what Hope is trying to do. Create a level of, you know, employment for everybody. So we want to make sure that we get every young boy and girl in Soufriere employed gainfully in their own business or preoccupied with doing something important. And that is what Hope is all about. But if you want to learn more about it, come to our office, sit down with us, and we can run you through the entire program.
Right. I was speaking to a young lady just yesterday, and I asked her to please go down to register for Hope because she's trying to start up a business, and I really wanted to get it off the ground. I hope she came in, and I hope that she started the process of getting herself off the ground.
Yeah.
So I encourage as many young people as possible. Don't think you have no potential. Please, everybody has potential. There is something for you. Major Cyril Saltibus is there to assist you. You can go down to the Super Regional Development Foundation as of tomorrow and ask and try and get some guidance and try and put yourself on a different path in life and get to where you're trying to get. Success is just around the corner. And we have all the avenues ready and willing and waiting for you to help you get where you need to get. So once again, good night to all our listeners. Good night to everybody on 88.5 Soufriere FM. Thank you to all those of you who came into the chat room. Good night to all of you. Good night to all our listeners throughout Soufriere, throughout St. Lucia, and throughout the region. I want to welcome us back. Let's Connect is back. We're going to be back next week, Tuesday, 8 p.m., same time, same place, right here on 88.5 Soufriere FM. Until next week, good night.
Bonsoir.